So, I've cooled off a little bit from when I originally decided to do this video. Um, but I'm still a little teed off, is actually a good way to put it. So, driving in car listening to news, I hear that the Austin bomber was killed in his own car. That, boom, that should have been the end of it. The Austin bomber killed himself in his car. Police found him. Yay! Police found him, and when confronted, he killed himself. Okay, that's it. Now everyone's like, well, why did he do what he do? And here's his name, and here's this, and all right, we already know why he did what he did. He wrote a letter. He wanted to be as famous, as infamous as the Zodiac Killer. Now, I'm glad that the majority of you do not understand that. I am glad that the majority of you do not walk in that madness of wanting to see the world burn. Because some of us have to fight that every day that whispering in our head going, you could make the world right, Joe. You could fix it. You know how. You know how to make bombs. You know how to do this stuff. You know it. See, he wasn't a GI because, they went on to explain everything about this person. They also explained how he made his bombs. They went into detail on this is how he did it. This is where he learned it from. This is where so you not only have you given him the recognition, which I refuse to call him by his name. I know what his name is. I've heard it. I've written it down. But I refuse. I will call him the Austin Bomber because that's all he gets from me. He will die in ignorance because he took his own life. That's all I'm going to say is the cops found him and he killed himself. That's it. That's the beginning and end of his story. He was an idiot. He killed himself. Boom. That's it. We're done. But no, the media, Fox News, CNN, MSN, you idiots. You have to build up his story. You have to pave the way for copycats like him. For more Zodiac killers to come out. For more people who want that taste of infamy. Who want their name written down as a crazed person, a killer, a hunter of the sheep. You are the fault for this. Fox is for the fault of this. MSN is at the fault for this. CNN is at the fault for this. Media, you. The next bomber is your fault. You explained how he made his bombs on air. You explained the ingredients he used on air to build his bomb. You explained how he set his bombs. You also explained in vivid detail, how the police found him. How they traced him down. You explained what the next bomber should do to not be caught the same way so he can, survive a little bit longer to release more bombs. You did that. And that is why you, Fox News, CNN, MSN, are disgusting because you do this all the time. Every murderer has to be printed across as if they're the next celebrity. You focus more on murders and death and the bombers and the killers than most tabloids focus on panty shots. Media nowadays is in the entire thing of selling death. They desire, they love it, they live it because it means more views. And they're like, oh no, it doesn't. People don't like death. They don't put in. Then why do you do it? Why is every headline about how this next person murdered a bunch of other people? And now we're going to go in heavy detail on how he did it. It's like the O.J. Simpson case. Let's take it apart bit by piece so that way the next person who kills his wife won't get caught the same way. Am I the only one? Am I the only one that looks at this and go, wow, you just gave the killer what he wanted? You just gave this man who was sick in the head exactly what he wanted? Yeah, he's dead. But he fulfilled his goal. Now, he may not be as famous as the Zodiac Killer, mostly because the next bomber will come and replace him in everyone's mind. But yeah, you're the ones who built this up. It's you. I'm kind of. This is why I don't really listen to Fox or CNN or MSN. This is why I don't really like news. Is because you perpetuate stupidity. I know that you don't need a college degree to be a news announcer. I also know that most of you are dumb. Not all of you. Some of you are quite intelligent people. But some of you, and I'm especially thinking more and more upon the editors, are just plain dumb. Or they just care about money. I don't think anyone cares about the news anymore. Especially with the 24-hour cycle where you hear the same thing over and over again. So everyone's like, ooh, we need to get more information. We need to get more on how this killer killed everyone so we can display it across the screen. I don't need to know how he built his bomb. I just need to know that he built the bomb. And that he's caught. Well, he's dead. That he died. And that you're doing the best you can to find the rest of the bombs and clear them out. And then you give us a nice public safety announcement. If you see any packages that look kind of iffy, please call the police so they can come and, see if it's safe. Public service announcement. Yay, I miss those. Do you miss the days back in, radio? When they're like, la 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 la, and then public service announcement, please remember that other people in the cars that you see on the road are full of people too, and you need to respect them and keep your attention. Drink and drive, and you're just as risk at being a murderer. Public safety announcement. Now, usually they're written better than that because they're not pulled out of your butt during the middle of a rant. But, yeah, I miss those old days where, news got in on the policemen and newsies have always hated each other. But, I miss the days where the newsies were not stupid. Where they didn't, print things that would harm other people. Yeah, you have the tabloids and the scandals and the yada yada. And I like, for that, yeah, all the information you can. All the information on the Trump-Russian dossier thing. Let's hear it all. All the information on Hillary's servers and were they not and not. Yeah, let's hear that because that's something that directly affects me as a citizen of the United States. That I need all the information on. That affects my voting. That affects my, yada yada. How a bomber built his bomb to kill people is not something that the average Joe, which is funny because my name's Joe, but anyways, is not something that I need to know. It's not going to affect my voting. It's not going to affect my quality of life. It's not going to affect, like what I should know is be wary for suspicious packages, because while we caught the bomber, we're not 100% positive that we've caught all of his bombs. That gives me the information that I, the human citizen, need. We don't need to take apart his brain. You guys the police can take apart his brain. That's fine. Because there are crazy people in the world. Everyone's like, why did he do this? Why did he do this? Well, remember how he wrote an ultimatum? Or not an ultimatum. Basically, he wrote saying why he was doing this. Did any of you read it? It wasn't politically charged. He's not doing this because Obama's president, or Trump is president, or Obama's president. He's not doing it for that reason. I chose those two because those were both very partisan. They really made the American people partisan for some reason. He's not doing this because black people and white people have different layers of figment in their skin to bounce the sun off of them so that way they can survive in different evolutionary conditions. He's not doing it for that reason, for race or for sexual orientation. He was doing it to become infamous because he wanted to see the world burn. He was doing it because he was messed up in the head. because he was sick. That's all. He was insane. Veritably criminal. We don't need to know how he built his bomb. That he built it from... I don't really want to explain it, but basically, it doesn't take a high school education to do what he did. It was a very low-level terror that he created. Well, low technology level terror that he created. It didn't take a lot. You can find it on... you can go listen to Fox News and they'll tell you in detail how he made it. You can go listen to an MSN. They'll do the same thing. This is why I have a hard time. Like, I used to listen to everyone so I could get the most varied viewpoint. I'm not getting the most varied viewpoint by listening to everyone anymore. All I'm getting is hate, death, how you're not American, you're black, you're white, you're gay, you're straight, you're Christian, you're Muslim. It's like, well, some of us are pagan. Can I get a pagan? Woohoo! No one cares. No one cares about my religious affiliation. No one cares about my skin color. No one cares about what I do or do not want to put my dick in. Or what I do or do not want a dick inside me. No one cares. No one. Doesn't matter. My sexual orientation doesn't matter. My religion doesn't matter. My skin tone doesn't matter. This matters. Now, yes, religion does bend how you think a bit. Sexual orientation changes how you think a bit. And those stuff matter when it comes down to the voting polls. But all I hear is that, and that's just divisive. That's just divisive. Who hates who loves who doesn't like who. Basically, this rant is really on how I hate media. And this was just the straw that kind of broke the back. I don't like it. It's just hate. I've listened, one of the CNN broadcasts, I can't remember who it does. I just remember, I think it was Reverend Wright, or basically another one of the hate mongers. That's who it was. It was another hate monger who was sitting up there saying, we need to kill more white people, chase them down in the street and kill them so that way they can feel the fear of a black man. And I'm like, wow, that's racist. That's genocidal. That's criminal. But he's given a platform to say this because freedom of speech. No, that's not the reason. He was given a platform to say this because it sells. People want to come and listen to him, either to disagree with him or to agree with him. But yeah, he just sits there and spews hate. And then I listen to, it's why I stopped listening to Bill O'Reilly a long time ago, is because everything he has, he blames on technology. And how it's just those kids sitting there staring at their phone. Like, alright, okay, let's go back to the 1920s with just those people sitting on a train staring at their news. The invention of the smartphone didn't suddenly cause a wall between people so they didn't want to talk to other people. People caused the wall so they didn't want to talk to other people. It's because, after work, I don't care about that guy over there. I don't. I care about my neighbor. Why? Because I deal with my neighbor. I care about my coworkers because I deal with my coworkers. I don't care about the guy that lives way over there and we're both sitting on a bus next to each other. Now, I'll admit, on the Greyhound bus I talked with a lot of people, but that's because I was sat on a Greyhound bus for 4 days traveling across from one side of America to the other. And it's boring. So I talked with people. But if I'm just sitting on a bus to get from point A to point B, I don't give a dang about who's sitting next to me. I'm going to ignore him and doodle on my notepad. Draw pictures. Don't really want to talk to him. Don't care. I just want to unwind and ride the few minutes it takes from get to point A to point B. That's what I want. I could sit there and read a smartphone, news break. I don't have enough to buy one. Well, I have one. It broke. And I haven't been able to afford to fix it, so I just kind of like, I don't have a phone. Everyone's like, you don't have a phone? How do you exist in this world? Well, I have an internet. I use my laptop in lieu of a smartphone. I downloaded several apps that do the same thing a smartphone does on my computer. I'm becoming tech savvy. Yeah. I'm pretending to become tech savvy. Really, it's just a good excuse to hide from the rest of the world because people kind of... Remember how... Yeah, that darkness, that fun little twisting voice you hear that goes, "You can do it, Joe. You can fix the world." Well, yeah, no, I'm trying. I'm becoming much more politically active. I'm becoming... But yeah. I hate media. This is more a rambling rant now because it's 15 minutes long. But yeah, basically, you don't need to listen anymore. I'm just going to basically, I guess, I'll use a few more minutes to just explain what I'm planning to do with this channel. So, I'm going to be posting things on Hitchcock, the new stories on Hitchcock Handyman. I'm going to be animating the new stories. I use the term animation loosely because I'm not an animator, but I'll be doing my best, and hey, over time I'll probably get better and better. And I'm going to animate these stories and then post them on YouTube. I'm going to post them on his channel, and then probably link them here as well, so that way you guys don't have to follow all the other stuff of his if you don't want to. I know I don't have very many people following me, probably less after this little bit of a rant, but yeah, I'll continue just basically making a playlist and posting the stuff from that one onto a playlist here, so you can still follow from just here if you want. But but they'll be linked there first. So if you want them right as they come out, follow Hitchcock Handyman. They'll probably be in Joseph's Corner on Hitchcock Handyman, and when I place them here, I'll put them under, like what I did, Love Can Bloom, or, this and that. If I do any more game ones, I'll post them here, and then if I finish doing the editing for the rest of the American Screen and Print videos, I'll just post them on here, because those aren't mine. And those aren't Hitchcock Handymans. Those are American Screen and Prints. And so I'll post them here and then to their Facebook page. But that's all I'll do with those. I guess thank you for listening to me rant for a while. I actually feel a lot better now that I've gotten it off my chest. But, yeah. I love our government and I hate our government at the same time. It's the best and the worst form that we've been able to produce, mostly because I can't think of anything better right now besides a noble and just ruler, which is very rare, and you only really find once in a while in history books. And if you actually know anything about history, you know that they were only just and fair afterwards when they were written down in history, and that they too commit atrocities. Nothing's perfect. Nothing is perfect. I'm not perfect. No one's perfect. Nothing's perfect. But we try to strive it for the best we can, and that's basically what I can want for. I miss communication in our government. Like, I know that there's always been partisan politics. There's always been fighting, and there's all of that. I know. I'm a historian, I'm not an idiot. But at the same time, I do feel like it's become more and more potent over time. That more and more people are, "Oh, you're a Republican. You're going to go to hell." Or, oh, you're a Democrat. You're an idiot. It's becoming more and more. And I miss that talk between each other. It seemed to happen more in my childhood than any other time. More between, even the anti-federalists and the federalists talked to each other and went to each other's tea parties, for crying out loud. Let's drink some tea together, people. We can all drown in the Boston Harbor or the, I know that, they didn't really throw it into the tea. They took the ship. Rhode Island dragged the tea ship up and out of the sea and then lit it aflame. That's what they did. That's probably why they don't the Boston Tea Party instead of, the Philadelphia bonfire. In fact, Philadelphia did a lot of things a lot more extravagant. And before Philadelphia did. I guess just Philadelphia had better wordsmiths. Anyways, thanks for listening to my rant. This is Joseph Hitchcock or Joe the Masks or whatever, signing off for a little bit because I got a lot of editing I gotta do and a lot of writing I gotta do. I still haven't picked a new story. I'm stuck between two, but if any of you want one that you want me to read, mention down in any of the comments, whether the comments on the actual Love Can Bloom, on my political rant, whether you agree with me, whether you disagree with me, whether you think I'm full of hot air, whether you think I'm just some angry guy that the police should come and arrest and put in a straitjacket, whatever. Mention down in the comments. I like reading them, even if you disagree with me, because then I can point and laugh at you going, ha ha ha, I got a YouTube channel. Alright. Thank you. Where's the stop recording me button?